Okay, so today we are going to learn about networking between Docker containers. So, uh, Docker containers, as we know, are single instance systems which are microsystems built on a platform like Docker Desktop, and then their function is to really do one job. That is, if a Docker contains an application, it will run that application. A Docker contains a database, it will do that task only. So Dockers are microsystems doing granular tasks associated to day-to-day computing. So today we will study about containers or Docker containers which connects to external interfaces, like say if I go ahead with the presentation, then a Docker, here we can see a Docker is a container, a container is has a image of an application, and it runs on this application is actually they are formed as an image. So a Docker image is formed by by a method called containerization of this application. So an image is formed, and that's a read-only part of the application. The read-write part of the application, the operating system, the processor requirements, everything are associated with the container, not the Docker image. So Docker containers are runtime images or runtimes of the applications, and we know that multiple containers can be launched from an image for a single application. So if an application we have one image, we can launch multiple instances or multiple containers based on the same image. Now these containers, as we know that all computer programs serve a specific purpose, so they need to interact with the outside world. Okay, so doing this interaction can broadly be classified into three areas. Like it interacts with the internet, that is the World Wide Web. It can interact with the host computer where this container is hosted, where this container is running, and it can as well as interact with other containers also. So it can actually do multifaceted interactions. It can connect with all three at the same time. So today we will study the method of this communication method of the containers. So actually, as we know, a container is a self-contained image. So it is isolated. It is isolated from outside world. It is isolated within the image itself. And to access that, we need to have it ports open explicitly. So that's why when it interacts with the container, it have interact with the world, it has its ports open. Okay, so the first demonstration is to demonstrate the interaction of a Docker interaction of a container with internet. So first of all, we will we are going to preview a on-premise solution which is a Node.js web API. It requires installation of Node, MongoDB and Postman, and it is a demonstration of a on premise application where the application is hosted on this computer itself. So as I am sharing this, I will just tell that this Node.js is installed in my computer, so you need to install Node.js. I have also installed Mongodb for the backend database, as well as Postman to test the API. And here is my application, which is open in this VS Code. Here this application requires installation of Axios, body parser, Express and Mongoose to connect with the MongoDB. It has several endpoints like favorites, then movie, then character, then it has people. So there are multiple endpoints, and for some of them, like this one, I am accessing a endpoint which is outside of this application, so it is just referring to www, World Wide Web, that is internet. So first let us build this app. So we will just install the dependencies, then we will run the Node.js server. Okay, sorry for that. So this application is running. Now let us go to Postman. Here I will test the API. As we have seen on the code here, that this app listens at port 3000. So if I just give here a get request, localhost 3000, get request on localhost colon 3000. Again, let us take a look at the code. So in the code, let us see where it gets. So it gets on movies from this external API, and it gets on people from this this external API. So we can go ahead with movies right now, or people. Let us go for people. Let us see if it returns anything. Yes. So it has like people over here. They have URL and everything. So let us see what do our movies have. So it lists movies. So let us go ahead with the characters like people. Okay, so we have people name, and then films. Okay, so now we need to store this. So let us open another part. We will use put or post. Use post. Body raw, and type would be JSON. Let us go to the code and see what is the post for favorites. Okay, so it is name, type and URL. So we have here, we have to have just we will have name, then we will have type, and we will have URL. Okay, now let us pick from that gets. let me say I like this. I like this name. So I will put that over here as a name, Luke Skywalker. And the type, I think in the code we have the type defined as character. Yes. So I'll just copy and paste this one, otherwise we will have an error. So I am pasting this. Next is the URL, so let me pick up a URL from the data. So here I'll just pick this one. Let's go over here and picking this one. Fine. Let us send. Oh, this URL is empty, so let us pick another one. Let's pick another one. So let me pick this one. This one is fine. Hopefully there's another extra comma. Send this. What it was? Oh, sorry. So it would be post to localhost slash. Okay, I think I got it. Yes, so at last we have the favorites saved, and let me see if I can retrieve this record. Get localhost favorites. Here there are two records actually, 2 or 3 records it is inserted over here. So this is it. So we can see that this app is doing fine. So if I just press Ctrl C, it will just get out of it. So this is the first part of this demo. Let us move on to the second one. Thank you. Okay, so now we will look forward to containerization of the app, and also it will this container will be enabled to work on the database instance. So first what will we do is we will dockerize the app, then we will connect with the host, connect from that app to the host where the database is used, and we will learn the use of host.docker.internal. So first of all, if I go and see the database is running, we have our there is an old image. So what I will do is I will just delete this one. I will also delete this image in my Docker desktop, By the way, Docker Desktop is the tool where we can which we can build and run and test and deploy Dockers. So first, let us build the image of this app. Here what I did was I copied, instead of localhost, I replaced this with a string host docker internal. This is the string we need to connect with the internal network of the host. From the Docker to the host connection will be used. Everywhere we will be using this. In case the database, or if we are using the API also, then also we need to use this one. So let us build the image. I think I saved it. Yes. Nope. No. See what happened. Sorry for the error. So here I just put, okay. Think we are good. Come over here. I am building the image. It would take some time because it is using the net. Now I will just run this one with the application name will be favorite app. It will be on detached mode. It will be removed once I stop the container. The port will be this and the image will be this. So let us first check if the image is available. Yes, the image is available. So what we will do is we will just run the app. Yes. Now if I go and see in containers, yes, it is running. So let us go to our good old Postman to check. Here, so if I give movies, say I would give here people. So it is working, and here there is a, I would say, big fat ball, which is a character. We give people 2. Let me see. Yes, I sent that. So post is successful, and then we will try to get that record. So there are multiple records. So here is big fat boy. So it is working. Now what I will do is to show you here. Yes. So we have 4 documents. So just to demonstrate that I was connecting with this database, what I will do is I will stop this one. So MongoDB has been stopped. So let us see if our get works. So it clashes. So here it is. So that is the application of Docker with a host, the communication of a Docker with the host. We will go forward to the next. Okay, so now we will discuss the demonstration. We will follow the demonstration for communication between container to another container. By that what I mean is that the Node.js will be in the container, as well as the MongoDB will also run from another container, and both will interact with each other. So the basis of this demonstration is laid on the concept of IP address of the image. So we will use the docker inspect command to get the IP address of the container, that is the MongoDB container, and then pass that IP address to our application. So that will be our task. So here what we will do is we will just go ahead and I have already deleted all the containers and all the images on my system. So I will just try to build a container of a MongoDB. So MongoDB container is available on the Docker Hub by the name Mongo. So we will just start a container based on that image directly from the Docker Hub. So we will not pull it, we will use Docker itself to create a container from that image, so it will automatically pull the image. So here I have passed on the command, the name will be MongoDB, and whenever I terminate the container, it will just go ahead and terminate. It will just go and delete the container itself. So we can see that it is just pulling the image. Still pulling the image now. So my MongoDB container is up and running. You can see the Mongo container is available. Now we will inspect the MongoDB, the image. We will inspect the container and see what IP address does it have. So here at the network settings, we can see the IP address as 172.17.02. I have already populated that. That is the standard IP address MongoDB receives. So I will just we have just checked that it is working. Now we will build the image of this application with the IP address. So this one is going on. Fine. So we are done with the image. Now we will just run the app on its default settings. So run the container /p. I will put for detaching and for removing the container when it is stopped. So this is the command. Let us see. Okay, now run a docker ps. We have both the containers up and running. So now let's go and check the Postman. Clear this. Yes, we can get the people. So it is coming from the website, the API. Now if we go and check the database, see it is blank because it is running from the container. In the database we have seen that see, if we just run a refresh over here, we can see 5 records, but as the database is running in the container, there is nothing. So if we run our good old post, let us see what happens. So it saves. Now let us run a get and see. Here it is. Again, if we run a post, here we just change it small, spelling small thin boy and give it number 3. Run the send. It is still in safe. If we do the pull again, so we can see that this small thin boy has been created, and if we come over in the database part, we will not see any small thin boys there. So this is how the clusters are working, the the containers are working. So the next part is to do a simplification, because this hard coding of IP address is not going to work for a very large system of containers. So we need to have a very acceptable, very simplistic policy to address the inter-container communication. So for that, what we need to do is we need to go to the next slide. Okay, so actually what happens is that we can create a Docker network, which obviously runs in the Docker frame of this machine itself. So it is internal to this machine, so it will run, it will simplify addressing the network. By that means, instead of IP address, we can put the names of the containers in this network. So it's a private network between the Dockers. So now we will try and go to that advanced setting where we can build a network of Docker. So first of all, let us bring these images down. The containers, let us bring them down both. Yes, or yes, just stop them. It will stop, no worries. We will go ahead and delete in the meantime, remove, and we will remove. So containers have been stopped, the images have been stopped. Now what we need to do is, here in the terminal window, or rather say I will open a command window over here. Okay, so here what we will do is we will create a network. The command is docker network. This helps us to create network. So we can see that we have this networks. So we will use this command to create a network. So it would be docker network create my fab net. So I will just create a network, and then let's see if it is visible. These are internal networks, but we can see my fab net is there. So we have created the network. Now what we need to do is, here in place of the IP address of the database, we need to put the name of the container. So as we see that as we will name our container MongoDB as we did earlier, so we will just keep it at MongoDB and then save it. Now the network is still running. What we need to do is, so when we are building this image, here we need to give slash dash network at fab net. So it will take that network and run on there. I think I gave it a bit early. It would be docker run / network. I think name is correct. It is my fab net. Okay, so I will put here my fab net. I will give the name MongoDB as discussed. The D and RM are as usual. Mongo is the image. So let's go ahead. It should not download the image again. I just keeping my fingers crossed because it took a very long time. It should have fetched it. No, my bad luck. I don't know what has changed, why it is downloading again and again. It should not do it. The image should have been there. Oh no, I have deleted it manually. My goodness, yes, that was my mistake. I shouldn't have deleted that. Okay, let it go. Yes. Come on. Okay. So the first one is up. Now the second one. I have changed everything. File has been saved. Okay. So now I need to run this application with the network. Just small change, put network over here, and here I put my favorite network. Bingo. So it's running. So let us see. First of all, yes, every image is running. Apps, the containers are running. As I have built, I don't think I will get anything. So let me see. Sorry, I should have used this one. Yeah, it is blank. If I use the API, here it comes. Now I have to post it. So let's do it again. Yes, and then we do it big thin boy. Okay, just for a change. Do a post and then see a get what happens. Let us see. Small thin boy, big thin boy, both are there. So this is it. A very simple way to use networks in between containers. So I am done for the day. Thank you. Post your questions on the comments part. I will definitely come and try to solve them. Thank you.